Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon Podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon Podcast. What happens when a founder stops theorizing and actually builds a company where agents do almost everything? Swan AI is doing exactly that. No SDR army, no bloated headcount, just 3 humans, product, software, and growth, working alongside a swarm of autonomous agents, closing deals, qualifying leads, and running outbound. If the old unicorn playbook said hire faster, Amos Bar-Joseph is asking a new question. What if scale doesn't require people anymore? Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today, Amos Bar-Joseph. Welcome to the pod.
Wow, what an intro, Rocco. Can I just take you with me like every social gathering and have you introduce me? Would that be okay?
Hype man. Well, you can probably get an AI agent to do that. You probably need to put him in some sort of robotic Tesla humanoid, but you could... Yeah. It's probably going to be cheaper just to get me and fly me everywhere.
Exactly. It would just be more expensive right now. So I prefer having you. Yeah, definitely.
I've got chickens. We've got chickens in the backyard. They are something's going on with the chickens. So if there are chickens on the mic, it's not an AI effect. It's just life. Life happens.
I can't hear anything. But,
awesome.
Fascinating what's happening there.
Listen, awesome to have you on the pod. I've been wanting to talk about AI agents for a while now, and then you popped up and I saw what you guys were doing. And basically, you guys are throwing out the whole playbook on startups and how you actually grow a company. You're 3 people, right?
Yeah, Swan. We're 3 people. We have over 200 customers, real businesses.
So where did you find your people? Like, where did you find the other 2?
They were with me actually my previous startup. So this is not my first rodeo. It's my 3rd company. And both of them were with me in the last 2 runs, and somehow they decided to follow along again.
That's very cool.
I think they were also attracted to this narrative of let's try to reinvent the playbook of how you scale a startup in an AI native world. All of us were kind of like casualties of the old model, the growth at all cost model, the unicorn playbook, where you raise a lot of money before you even know what you do, and you get to 40 people before you get to your first $1 million in revenue. And then for every round, you just you grow your vision and the potential market, but not the real value of the product. And I felt like the startup playbook hasn't been reinvented for the last 15 years, and it just gets more and more expensive to build startups because there isn't any real innovation on it. So this introduction of AI agents, I felt like this is the time to reinvent it.
Right. So walk me through your core thesis. What is the core thesis of Swan AI?
Yeah, so we're trying to build the first autonomous business, basically a business that can scale with intelligence, not headcount. It's not about removing the human factor from the loop and just scaling with AI intelligence. It's actually about human intelligence and AI intelligence working together to scale the company. So it's a business that is architected from the ground up towards human AI collaboration rather than human to human coordination. What we're focused at is not valuation. Okay, you think that's the old model. We're very focused on revenue per employee because we think that's the metric that really signals the leverage that you can pull from AI in your company. And we're on a mission to get to $10 million ARR per employee in our company. And the way that we use agents in our company is that we put the human in the center, actually. It's actually a journey to discover the 100x version of each employee at the company by putting the humans inside their zone of genius, that area where their skills and passion intersect to create disproportionate value. And the AI, what it does, it automates the mundane, what's outside of that zone of genius, and amplifies what's within. So there are human in the loop processes, and all of them are kind of like inside the zone of genius of those employees. So we can really find that 100x version of themselves.
What are some of the mundane stuff? What are you giving to AI agents to do?
Yeah, so I'll start with examples, but
Yeah,
then we'll
sure.
try to look at the rule itself. So
Okay.
um, if you look at me, I'm a one-person go-to-market machine
Yes.
at the company, and I don't have any SDRs. I don't have any marketing budget, just me. And I generate consistently $1.5 million in pipeline. I try to close more than 30 accounts each month. And how do I do that? It's because we built a machine around my zone of genius. Okay, my
Okay.
zone of genius, if you've guessed, maybe is storytelling. I love telling stories. And I do that very well on social media, on LinkedIn. So I have a large followership on LinkedIn, over 30,000 followers. And we said, how can we build a go-to-market machine around that zone of genius in social media, Amos storytelling all the time?
Okay.
So what we did is we built an army of agents around that operation that would automate the mundane. What does that mean? For example, whenever I write a post, it could take me hours sometimes to write the perfect post.
Yes.
And I need to do research and iterate, etc. And now I have an agent that has access to all of my previous posts. It has my content pillars, what Swan does, our vision, how to write a great hook guide, etc. And I just use it as a thought partner that takes the process of writing a post from 2 hours to 10, 20 minutes. And I write better posts because I can write with someone who understands how I think and already completes me in that sense. So it's not that we used AI to just send 100 posts a week, because that
Yes.
would be replacing me and that would just reduce the quality. It was about, okay, what can the AI do and what should I do in the process of writing a post? Okay, that was super clear. The AI can pull the research, the insights, can organize it, grammar, edit, suggest angles, etc. But I'm the one who comes up with the point of view
Yes.
and with the
The
real story
nuance
to
and
tell.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And so we built agents all across that process, from writing the post to actually seeing who engages with these posts and qualifying them and then surfacing them so I can reach out. And then if someone goes to our website and don't convert, so we want to know who they are. So we have agents de-anonymizing them and surfacing them and engaging with conversations. And what happens is that I don't spend time on qualifying leads or researching them. I just spend time on leads that are already showing their hands high up and that are interested in what we're saying and that they are qualified already. So I focus my time only on the most strategic tasks in the day-to-day.
Jeez. Okay. That's very different from a normal startup. Um, so what do you focus on sort of your day to day then? Because like in this AI driven or agentic startup, what does your day to day look like?
I think that every person becomes a manager. That's
Okay.
first of all. So you're a manager
But you're
of
managing,
AI
sorry,
agent.
things. It's not people. You're managing systems, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You're managing systems, you're managing software. When I say managing, it's not like I give them the weight of a human being. It's not about that. It's not
Mm,
about humanizing them. It's just about describing the type of relationship that you have with them. It's less like using a tool when you click on it. It's more like managing it, thinking what type of task should they do, what type of task
yes.
they shouldn't do, and
Yes.
to give them a goal, make sure that you're aligned, that you're measuring their success, that you're seeing where they're failing, and you're having your finger on their pulse. Are you micromanaging them or are you doing it at a high level? These are dilemmas of a manager, not of a tool, a
Yes.
person who uses a tool.
But you're saying that we're not giving weight to these systems as people. But I found when I use GPT, it's very much nuanced to my sort of personality and who I am. And then when I use a different model, let's say DeepSeek, that's different. So we do treat them differently, like you would do a human, which is funny.
Yes. Yeah. So from a philosophical standpoint,
Yes.
and I try to avoid that, but Rocky, you sent me there. So definitely you could look at it as a human, but I think that's kind of from the perspective of the user. Okay, that depends on you. That you can think of it and you can give it the personality that you like from your perspective. You can think of it as a machine. Both of a point of views could work. But what I'm trying to say in a work environment, okay, I'm trying to put away kind of like the personal aspect here. But from a working standpoint, it doesn't matter if you think that it could be a consciousness, intelligence, a human or a human-like or not. The way that you're working with it, it's like you're working with a human. That's the best way to actually look at it from a skills perspective. And what you're actually referring to, Rocco, which is interesting about how DeepSeek is different than ChatGPT. It's actually one of the most things that I'm passionate about AI. It's actually about, most of it's about memory. So it's not only that different AI models have different personalities, let's call it. It's more so that they also have memory. And so over time, they can learn you. And what you have like the foundation model, which adapts to who Rocco is. And over time, just wears the shape of your relationship with the AI. So it's not the shape of you, it's the shape of the relationship, what you're talking to, how you're talking to it, the things that you're thinking about describing to it, the things that you're not sharing with it. So it just wears the shape of your relationship. And that's what you can mistake by saying, yeah, it's a human, it's whatever it is. It's actually just mirroring of your relationship, what you're saying to it. And how it able to memorize it and use it over long term.
Just very interesting how those lines are getting blurred. I don't think we're totally in the gray area now, but it's just very interesting. So you've worked traditional startups, and now you're in this weird, wonderful new thing. What's the biggest difference that you've picked up? I mean, you talked about high turnover and not focusing so much on sales. It's just raise. But what else? What have you noticed? What's the big difference?
Yeah, the biggest shift we see is kind of like from what we call cog culture into an autonomous business. Okay, so the cog culture was the state before that, I get it a lot of times from people when I talk about my zone of genius and how I operate like 95% of my day inside my zone of genius. The first reaction I get from a lot of people is like, I'm not sure I even know what's my zone of genius. And the reason for that, it's because they were living inside cog culture organizations for most of their lives.
Basically.
So even not someone else's, what happens is that you're a cog in the machine. Everything is optimized for the business. The business is what you're trying to optimize for. And so the business needs a sales development representatives who will pick up the phone and call someone. And maybe that could be you. And so you're fit like a cog in the wheel. And that's what you're supposed to do all day long. We don't care what you're good at. You just need to fulfill a small role inside a big machine. And what happens is that the entire machine is optimized for the business to scale, not for the humans to scale. Okay. So you have bureaucracies and approval layers and managerial layers, etc., because everything is supposed to be intact so that the business would be the perfect state. But what happens in a new world startup like Swan is that we reverse that thinking. The business and the systems in the business are all about scaling the humans inside the business. And how can you get disproportionate value from a small team as if you focus on the unique characteristics and capabilities of that specific team. So the only way to achieve greater scale with a small team versus a big team is if your model optimizes for the humans inside, not for the business. And so our business, what is fundamentally different, all the processes, all the systems, everything is about thriving towards a situation where the employee works in their zone of genius. So even if it's not 100% of the time, it's what we thrive for. It's what we aim for. In an iterative process, we try to put you there almost all day long. And even if you don't know what your zone of genius, you come to Swan and everything is pushing you there. So you understand, this is I'm not good at and I don't really like. So, okay, AI should take that. This is where I find my passion and I want to spend more time on it. So how can I use AI to amplify that? In an iterative process, you find your zone of genius and you start scaling yourself.
That's fascinating. It's so new, and it's like, what do you think? What types of businesses will do well in this setup, and what sort of businesses is it going to disrupt? I know it's a sort of a broad and open-ended question, but I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, I have a great answer for that, Rocco. I think
Cool.
about it a lot. And I'll start with like an analogy to software products.
Okay.
What happened over the last 10, 15 years, it gotten really easy to develop software products. Okay. If you look like 15 years ago,
Cheaper
it was
as
really
well.
hard.
Easier, cheaper. Yes. Yes.
Easier and cheaper. Okay. And so what happened over time is that it was really hard for software products to differentiate from one another because if I
Mm-hmm.
had that feature,
Yeah.
another company could build that feature, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Exactly. And what happened is that software products pushed to really understand what is unique about us that no one else can do. Maybe from an IP perspective, we're so smart about something. Maybe we're positioned to do something, etc. And the products that are winning has some unique advantage, which is not really easy to mimic with this commoditization of software development.
Mm.
Now, stay with me with this
Yes, I'm
analogy.
staying with you.
Let's take it to the business world in an AI native world where intelligence is commoditized, okay, where
Uh-huh.
everyone can just use this AI models to perform tasks. And I want to write a great email, so I have an AI that could do it for me. And I want to write an amazing business plan, I have an AI that could do it for me. What happens is that there is a commoditization of businesses in that spec, and the ones that will thrive will be the ones that will understand what edge does my talent have? It's all about your talent,
Mm.
your humans. Your humans become the equivalent of the software product in the software era, where if you are, for example, let's take go to market. Okay. And if you have an organization that is really good at cold calling, your SDRs are amazing at picking up the phone, which not a lot of other go to
Yes.
market organizations are good at.
Yeah, funny.
So
How about that?
if that's what you're good at, then you need to double down on that because
Mm.
you can get an edge. If you use AI to amplify that skill, then you'll be better than all of the other businesses with cold calling, right? But if you give AI cold calling, then you lose that advantage.
Yes.
Everyone can use AI for cold
Yes.
calling. So you need to understand what is your unique advantage from a talent perspective. What are these skills that you have that makes you different than other businesses? These are the ones that you need to double down on. And if they are important enough for your customer, then you will thrive in the next era because no other businesses that gave away their jobs to be done to AI will be able to compete with you.
And I'm assuming there's a lot of businesses that are going to find out that maybe they don't have the level of talented people that they think they have because it forces
So
introspection.
yeah, exactly. And if you look at, going back to the software commoditization era, then, so a lot of businesses that just build software because it was just code and it took time to build
Yes.
that code and that's it. And so they just got eliminated from the world because it got super easy to build their software. So it's going to come down to, are you humans really uniquely talented? If so, then you will have an edge in an AI native world. If not, then it will be just a bidding war of like how much budget can I pour into these AI machines to just work on my behalf.
You see, that's the interesting part, and that's the thing that I'm thinking of now as my brain's running is all the massive layoffs that have happened. Those there might be some very talented people that are listening now and saying, "Oh, but now suddenly I can, in my expertise, I can compete using systems, using these systems, and I can actually take small chunks out of those bigger businesses." And that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a massive disruption waiting to happen.
Exactly. So as I see it from like a macro perspective,
Yes.
you can look at it as a redistribution of work, okay, of labor. So what we
Yes.
had until now is that you had massive enterprises which accumulated for like 99% of the work, right?
Uh-huh.
And like they controlled all the labor. And what we're seeing, putting aside the robotics revolution and
Okay. Yeah,
companies
yeah,
like
yeah.
like
That's
Walmart, which still has an edge in terms of employee headcount, etc. But if you're in the knowledge information industry, and you have like Apple, you have like or like Google, 100,000 employees, then what is happening slowly and very very fast soon is that we're redistributing that talent to start new companies and to start small companies that can have massive impact on the world, because you don't need a 100,000 organization to just deliver that scale anymore.
and you guys are the test subjects. You are sort of running this pilot program, I guess. If I
Exactly. We're doing so because we're passionate about the future of human AI collaboration,
Yes.
and we really want to redesign the playbook of how you scale a company in this world.
That's so awesome, Mr. Joseph. Thank you so much for joining me today. If the listeners want to go and connect with you and find out more about Swan AI and how they maybe can start their own journey, where can they do that?
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about our product,
Mm-hmm.
that's at getswan.com. If you're a go-to-market operator and you want to scale with intelligence, not with headcount, so go and visit that website. And I'm on LinkedIn, Amos Bar-Joseph. So just follow me on LinkedIn, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. There's some good, spicy content over there.
We'll put all the links in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me. Absolute pleasure. And to all listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Where do we go when we need to escape? Who do you call when you're losing your faith? Who do you trust and whose rights been betrayed? Don't you worry. Where do we go when the walls cut? Do we do when we stone in earth? When do we learn when to let it all go? Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Don't worry. It feels so good. 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 Like. Where do we fly when we're finally free? Who do we love and when we love endlessly? Why would you hide when you're meant to be seen? Don't you worry. To feel so so good. To feel so good. It feels so good. To feel so good.